I'm going to explain what TrustRank is and why it's so important for the method. Now, there was a famous paper put out by some researchers at Stanford explaining exactly what TrustRank is. They invented it, actually. But for those of you who don't have time or the interest to read it, and it's probably not for everyone, and you really don't need to know, you just need to know the basics, I'm going to go explain what TrustRank is, and also how it differs from PageRank, which is probably something you've heard a lot about. Alright, so I've made a little diagram here. This is my page explaining PageRank. Basically, how PageRank works is each page on the internet is given a little bit of juice. Okay, each page is worth a little bit, and they're all worth the same when they start out. Rank is determined by what pages they link to and what pages link to them, and how much link juice they get. Okay, so if we look at this example, we have a whole bunch of pages that are all worth the same because they're all by themselves and they're not being linked to. But they link out to this page here, this high PR page, because it's gathered all the power through all these links from all these different pages and boosted its own page rank. Okay, now the thing to remember is this doesn't actually take into account the quality of the pages. They could all be really spammy websites or have just crap on them, and they'll still pass on their page rank. And you may be aware that like a properly optimized spam site can have a really high page rank, even though it's crap. But just because something has high page rank doesn't mean it will necessarily rank really highly, because that's not the only factor that Google considers. Because they know that PageRank doesn't penalize crap sites, and it actually doesn't take into account the quality of the page at all, Google and other search engines have had to incorporate another method of determining the quality of sites. And what that method is TrustRank. And the way TrustRank works is it starts, not every page is created equal. It starts with what are called trust seeds. And we've found that these trust seeds are .edu and .gov domains. There are also individual websites that have been human reviewed. Obviously, when you compare that to the entire internet, there's not that many of them. But .edu and .gov domains as an entire class are all classified as more trusted than .com, .net, .org and the other top-level domains. So if a page gets a link from a .edu or a .gov domain, that link passes on some of its trust, and that page becomes more trusted. When that page links out to other pages, the trust is again passed on, but a little less, or actually dramatically less. And as the network spreads out, the websites get trusted less and less the further they are from a trust seed. Now, what a lot of standard backlinking techniques that are touted out there say that you should do is a linking strategy something like this, where you get a bunch of links from pages, lots of .com and .org pages that aren't necessarily trusted particularly much. They might have a high page rank, but as we know, that's different from TrustRank. So what happens is, sure, you might be getting a lot of page rank and a lot of link juice, but if you've just started out your website, it's not trusted by the search engines necessarily. And so that's when you can be stuck in the sandbox or, dealing with the Google dance. What we need to do to get our pages ranking highly and quickly is this. Get a .edu or .gov domain to link to you. And this trust seed will pass along directly some of its trust rank. And the more trust rank that your page has, the more legitimate it looks to Google or other search engines faster. And this means that we can get kicked out of the sandbox and straight up to the top of the rankings, assuming you've targeted your keyword correctly and you have a you still need to have, the rest of your linking strategy in place, but you also want some trust ranks coming your way.